Have you ever walked into a room and completely forgotten why you went in there? Or maybe you've struggled to find a word that feels like it's right on the tip of your tongue, but just won't come out. It's a frustrating feeling, and one that can sometimes make us worry about our minds as we get older. I want to start by reassuring you. Don't worry. You're not alone. These small slips are a common part of life, but they don't have to define your future. What modern science has shown us, time and time again, is truly remarkable. Our brains possess an incredible capacity for growth, change, and adaptation, a quality we call neuroplasticity. And this isn't just something that happens when we're young. Even after 65, your brain is still building new connections, forging new pathways, and learning. It's a dynamic living organ that responds to how we treat it. We have more power over our cognitive health than we ever thought possible. That's why I'm so excited to talk with you today. This isn't about accepting decline. It's about actively shaping a brighter, sharper future for your mind. Today, we're going to talk about 6 simple brain exercises, real, science-backed ways to keep your mind sharp and delay memory loss. The best part? These aren't complicated or expensive habits. They are simple, powerful practices you can start incorporating into your daily life, right from the comfort of your own home, starting today. Our first strategy is perhaps the most powerful, and it's something humans are naturally built to do: learn something new. Think back to when you were a child. The world was a constant source of wonder, and every day brought a new discovery. That sense of curiosity doesn't have a shelf life. As adults, we often fall into comfortable routines, but our brains thrive on novelty and challenge. The very act of learning stimulates your mind in a profound way. When you decide to pick up a musical instrument, learn a new language, or even try your hand at watercolor painting, you are doing more than just acquiring a skill. You're actively building new neural pathways. Imagine your brain is like a city. Learning something new is like constructing a brand new road or bridge. It creates alternative routes for information to travel, making the entire network more resilient and efficient. This process strengthens the connections between different parts of your brain. The key here is to embrace the process, not to aim for perfection. It doesn't matter if your first attempts at playing the guitar sound clunky, or if your Spanish grammar isn't perfect. The struggle is actually where the magic happens. When you're concentrating, making mistakes, and correcting them, your brain is firing on all cylinders. This mental effort is the workout that strengthens your cognitive muscles, building what we call a cognitive reserve. This reserve is like a mental savings account. The more you build it up through learning and other stimulating activities, the better equipped your brain is to withstand the challenges that come with age. It provides a buffer against cognitive decline. So if your brain encounters a roadblock later in life, it has all these other pathways it can use to get the job done. It's a powerful form of resilience that you can build one lesson at a time. Think about what has always interested you. Was it photography? Gardening? Maybe you've always wanted to understand the stock market or learn how to code. The subject itself is less important than the act of engaging with it. The goal is to step outside of your comfort zone, to challenge your mind in a way that feels both engaging and a little bit difficult. That's the sweet spot for brain growth. You don't need to enroll in a formal university course either. There are countless free resources online, from language apps to video tutorials on almost any subject you can imagine. You can join a local club, a book group, or a community workshop. The social aspect of learning with others can provide an additional boost, which we'll talk more about later. The important thing is to start. So I encourage you to think of yourself as a student of life. Always. Pick one small thing you want to learn this month. Dedicate just 15 or 20 minutes a day to it. Notice how it feels to be a beginner again. The frustration, the small victories, the joy of discovery. You're not just learning to knit or to bake sourdough, you are actively investing in a sharper, more resilient mind for the long haul. Our next brain booster might feel a bit strange at first, but its power lies in its simplicity. I want you to try using your non-dominant hand for simple, everyday tasks. If you're right-handed, try brushing your teeth with your left hand. If you're a lefty, try using your right hand to stir your morning coffee or use the computer mouse. It's going to feel awkward, clumsy, and inefficient, and that is precisely the point. Our brains are masters of efficiency. Once we learn a task like writing our name or using a fork, our brain automates the process. The neural pathways for these actions become so well worn that we can perform them without any conscious thought. This is great for getting through the day, but it doesn't challenge the brain. It's like driving the same route to work every single day. Eventually, you can do it on autopilot. When you switch to your non-dominant hand, you disrupt that autopilot. You force your brain to wake up and pay attention. Suddenly, a simple task like buttoning your shirt requires immense concentration. You are activating parts of your brain that are not typically used for that activity. This simple switch encourages the growth of new neural connections and strengthens the communication between the two hemispheres of your brain. Think of it as taking the scenic route instead of the highway. It might be slower, but you see and experience so much more. Using your opposite hand engages different sensory and motor cortices. You have to think deliberately about each small movement, how to hold the toothbrush, the angle to apply pressure, the circular motion. This focused attention is a potent form of mental exercise that enhances your fine motor skills and your overall mind-body connection. This isn't about becoming ambidextrous. The goal isn't to be able to write a beautiful letter with your other hand. The goal is to introduce a small, manageable challenge into your routine. The feeling of awkwardness is a signal that your brain is working in a new way. It's building flexibility and adaptability. The more you do it, the less awkward it will become, which is a sign that your brain is successfully creating and strengthening those new pathways. You can start small. Try it for just 1 or 2 minutes a day. Use your non-dominant hand to unlock your front door, pour a glass of water, or use the TV remote. As you get more comfortable, you can try more complex tasks, like eating a meal or writing down a short grocery list. Be patient with yourself. It's not a race, and the clumsiness is part of the benefit. This simple act is a beautiful illustration of neuroplasticity in action. It shows us that we can consciously create experiences that rewire our brains for the better. It's a tangible way to feel your brain working and adapting in real time. So tonight, when you go to brush your teeth, make that small switch. It's a simple, free, and surprisingly powerful way to keep your brain on its toes and build a more connected, resilient mind. For a long time, we thought of the mind and body as separate entities. We talked about brain exercise and physical exercise as if they were completely unrelated. But one of the most important discoveries in neuroscience over the past few decades is just how deeply interconnected they are. Our third brain booster is simple. Move your body. When you take care of your body, you are directly taking care of your brain. You don't have to become a marathon runner or a power lifter to reap the cognitive benefits of exercise. In fact, studies have shown that even light to moderate physical activity, like a brisk walk for 30 minutes a day, can have a profound impact on your brain health. When you move your body, you increase blood flow not just to your muscles, but to your brain as well. This is critically important. Your brain is an incredibly energy-hungry organ, consuming about 20% of your body's oxygen and calories. Increased blood flow delivers a fresh supply of this vital oxygen and nutrients, which helps your brain cells function at their best. It's like providing a high-quality fuel source for a high-performance engine. This improved circulation also helps to clear away waste products and reduce inflammation, which is a known contributor to cognitive decline. But the benefits go even deeper. Physical activity stimulates the release of a remarkable molecule called brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF. I like to think of BDNF as fertilizer for the brain. It plays a crucial role in the survival of existing neurons and encourages the growth and differentiation of new neurons and synapses. It is fundamental to learning, memory, and higher thinking. Every time you go for a walk, a swim, or a bike ride, you are giving your brain a dose of this powerful growth factor. Furthermore, exercise has been shown to increase the size of the hippocampus, a part of the brain that is central to learning and memory. This is one of the few areas in the adult brain where we know new neurons are generated throughout our lives, a process called neurogenesis. As we age, the hippocampus naturally tends to shrink, which can lead to memory impairment. Regular physical activity can help counteract this shrinkage, preserving and even enhancing your memory function. The key is consistency. Find a form of movement that you genuinely enjoy, because that's what you'll stick with. It could be dancing in your living room, gardening in your backyard, joining a water aerobics class, or simply taking the stairs instead of the elevator. The social component of exercising with a friend or in a group can add another layer of benefit, combining physical activity with the cognitive engagement we'll discuss next. So I urge you to reframe how you think about exercise. It's not just about weight management or heart health, though those are wonderful benefits. See it as a direct investment in your mental clarity, your memory, and your long-term cognitive vitality. Every step you take is a step toward a stronger, sharper, and more resilient brain. Make movement a non-negotiable part of your day, just like eating or sleeping. Your brain will thank you for it. In our increasingly digital world, it's easy to substitute a text message or a social media comment for a real face-to-face interaction. But our brains are fundamentally social organs, sculpted by millions of years of evolution to connect with others. Our fourth brain booster is about rediscovering the profound cognitive benefits of having real conversations. This is an exercise that strengthens some of the most complex functions of your mind. Think about what's required in a simple chat with a friend. You have to listen carefully to what they're saying, process the information, and hold it in your working memory. At the same time, you're formulating your own response, searching your long-term memory for relevant stories or facts. You're also reading nonverbal cues, their tone of voice, their facial expressions, their body language, to understand the emotional context of the conversation. This is, honestly, an incredibly sophisticated mental workout. It engages multiple areas of the brain simultaneously: the auditory cortex for hearing, Wernicke's area for language comprehension, Broca's area for speech production, and the frontal lobes for attention, planning, and social reasoning. It is a dynamic, real-time synthesis of memory, attention, language, and emotional intelligence. A quick text message simply doesn't compare. Studies have consistently shown that individuals with strong social ties and frequent social engagement have a lower risk of cognitive decline and dementia. Meaningful social interaction acts as a powerful buffer against the effects of aging on the brain. It keeps your mind agile and responsive. When you isolate yourself, you deprive your brain of this essential stimulation, and your cognitive skills can begin to atrophy, much like an unused muscle. This doesn't mean you need to be a social butterfly or attend large parties every night. The quality of the interactions matters more than the quantity. A deep, one-on-one conversation with a loved one, a lively debate in a book club, or even a friendly chat with the cashier at the grocery store can provide this vital mental stimulation. The goal is to engage authentically with the people around you. Take the initiative to create these opportunities. Call a friend you haven't spoken to in a while instead of just sending a text. Schedule a regular weekly coffee or lunch date. Join a club or a volunteer organization centered around a hobby you enjoy. This combines the benefits of social engagement with the power of learning something new, creating a potent cocktail for brain health. So I encourage you to prioritize real human connection. Put down the phone, turn off the television, and make time for conversation. Ask open-ended questions. Listen with genuine curiosity. Share your own stories and perspectives. This simple, deeply human act of connecting with another person is one of the most enjoyable and effective ways to exercise your brain, keeping it sharp, empathetic, and resilient for years to come. We live in a culture that often glorifies busyness and treats sleep as a luxury, or even a waste of time. But I want to be very clear about this. Sleep is not an option. It is a biological necessity that is absolutely fundamental to your brain's health. Our fifth brain booster isn't an activity you do while you're awake, but rather the essential process that happens when you're not prioritizing high-quality, restorative sleep. For a long time, we didn't fully understand what the brain was doing while we slept. We thought it was just shutting down. We now know that the sleeping brain is incredibly active, performing critical maintenance tasks that it can't do while we're awake. One of the most important of these tasks is memory consolidation. During deep sleep, your brain replays the events of the day, strengthening important neural connections and transferring short-term memories to long-term storage. Think of it like a librarian organizing the day's new arrivals. Without this nightly process, memories are fragile and easily forgotten. A good night's sleep is essential for solidifying what you've learned and experienced. If you've ever felt that a good night's rest helps you see a problem more clearly, you're not imagining it. Sleep helps your brain organize information and make novel connections, boosting creativity and problem-solving skills. But there's another, equally vital process that happens during sleep. In 2012, scientists discovered what's now called the glymphatic system. This is the brain's unique waste clearance system. While you sleep, your brain cells actually shrink, widening the channels between them. This allows cerebrospinal fluid to flow through and wash away metabolic byproducts and toxins that accumulate during waking hours, including beta amyloid, the protein famously linked to Alzheimer's disease. This nightly cleaning cycle is absolutely critical for long-term brain health. When you consistently skimp on sleep, you're allowing these toxins to build up, which can impair cognitive function and increase your risk for neurodegenerative diseases. This is why chronic sleep deprivation can leave you feeling foggy, irritable, and unable to concentrate. Your brain is literally clogged with the waste products of its own activity. So, how can you improve your sleep? The key is to establish a consistent and calming bedtime routine. Our brains thrive on routine. Try to go to bed and wake up at roughly the same time every day, even on weekends. This helps to regulate your body's internal clock, or circadian rhythm. In the hour before bed, create a buffer zone from the stresses of the day. Dim the lights, turn off screens. The blue light from phones and tablets can interfere with the production of melatonin, the sleep hormone. Instead, read a book, listen to calming music, take a warm bath, or do some gentle stretching. Create a sleep sanctuary in your bedroom. Keep it cool, dark, and quiet. These simple habits can signal to your brain that it's time to wind down and prepare for its essential nightly work. Our final brain booster is one that I hope brings a smile to your face, because it's all about having fun playing games. We often think of games as a pastime for children or a way to simply relax, but they are also a fantastic, engaging, and highly effective way to exercise your brain. Whether it's a deck of cards, a crossword puzzle, or a board game with family, play is serious work for your mind. Different games challenge different cognitive skills. A daily crossword puzzle or a game of Scrabble, for example, is a great workout for your vocabulary and verbal fluency. You're constantly searching your mental dictionary for the right word, strengthening those language pathways. Sudoku, or a jigsaw puzzle, on the other hand, challenges your logic, spatial reasoning, and problem-solving abilities. You have to think strategically and hold multiple pieces of information in your mind at once. Card games like Bridge, Hearts, or even a simple game of Gin Rummy are particularly powerful. They require you to use your working memory to track which cards have been played. You need to pay close attention, adapt your strategy based on what other players are doing, and make calculated decisions under pressure. This combination of memory, strategy, and attention makes for a comprehensive brain workout. The social aspect of many games provides an additional crucial layer of benefit. Playing a board game or cards with friends or family combines the cognitive challenge of the game itself with the power of real conversation that we discussed earlier. You're not just strategizing, you're laughing, negotiating, and connecting with others. This blend of mental stimulation and social engagement is a recipe for a healthy, happy brain. Even some video games, when chosen thoughtfully, can be beneficial. Studies have shown that certain types of games can improve visual processing speed, attention, and task-switching abilities. The key is to choose games that make you think, rather than ones that are mindless or passive. Look for games that involve strategy, puzzles, or problem-solving. The most important element here is enjoyment. The brain is more receptive to learning and challenge when the activity is intrinsically rewarding. Find games that you genuinely find fun and engaging. Don't force yourself to do a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle if you find it tedious. Maybe you'd prefer a fast-paced game of chess or a collaborative board game where you work together with other players. So, I encourage you to make time for play. Dust off that old board game, start a weekly card night with friends, or download a brain training app on your phone. See it not as a frivolous activity, but as a joyful and essential part of your brain health routine. When you're laughing and strategizing over a game, you're doing more than just passing the time. You're building a sharper, more agile, and more resilient mind. So there you have it. 6 powerful, science-backed habits that you can start today to build a more resilient brain. From learning a new skill to getting a good night's sleep, these aren't drastic overhauls. They are small, consistent investments in your cognitive future. Your brain is a remarkable organ, ready and willing to adapt and grow at any age. The power to keep it sharp and vibrant is truly in your hands, woven into the simple choices you make every single day. I would love to hear from you. What are some of your favorite ways to challenge your mind? Have you recently picked up a new hobby? Or do you have a favorite game you play with your family? Please share your experiences and ideas in the comments below. Your story could be the very thing that inspires someone else to start their own journey toward better brain health. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe to Ageless Health for more content on living a healthier, more vibrant life. Take care of yourself, and remember, growing older doesn't mean growing weaker. With the right habits, You can grow wiser, sharper, and stronger every single day. Here's to your health and to a mind that stays brilliant for years to come.